Oh, well, ciao, Pata, Nina. Here with another day of Sunflower Simulator. Just gonna do my best and think where we're going from there. Here. I know it was pretty rudimentary, amateur type stuff earlier. But, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna complicate things a little bit today. My plan, it may be a little bit boring, is to take some of these things in the main method and turn them into separate classes, so it's not so bulky in main, and I can trace what's going on. Besides that, maybe some looping logic for the switch statement, and we may type out some dreams near the end of the stream to have the fun part start happening. Because my goal is to have like a big folder full of like every dream event pull, and then once I'm ready to start reviewing, reading to and from a file, I can save player information in one file, and then pull from the dreams that are all like text files in a big folder, and yeah, I think we'll end up using the file for the for inventory management as well, but I'm not sure if that goes in how to separate that, like save game versus just internal save states. But I guess that's part of the fun, the journey of doing this. So anyway, I guess we can start going. Anyway, you wake up feeling refreshed and rested. It's a new day. It is the default message if you don't have a dream. And right now I'm having the chance of dream being 50-50, almost. I think I've got integer. This might be, is this 99 or 101? Yeah, so it's not quite 50-50, but it's approximately a coin flip. Yeah, okay. So, what should we start with? Oh, here we got day 0 nodes. Looping logic for action menu. Okay, so I'm thinking a do-while loop for this. Chris isn't mad about that. Make this a little bit more clear. Well, actually, I'm going to trace is because I'm taking too long just puzzling over how to make the choice not local only to this ifs block and have it accessible by the while loop as well. So I'm thinking a new game will immediately like build 3 garden plots to start with. You need so we're gonna need like getters and setters. We're gonna need like a garden plot to be an object that takes other objects like the plants, the weed ratio, the water ratio, and so on and so forth. I guess the reason choice is there, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to declare it outside of the thing. See if that works. Ampersand. Hell yeah, there we go. Choice.car at character 0 is not. Why? There we go. Wait, choice is still not accepted. initialize choice as well. So I'll just need it to reset the choice character back to N after they're done performing an action, and that'll work. I'm gonna label some of these statements with comments because I'm already getting confused, so I know that a random viewer can get confused. Or end brackets, I mean. Braces? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty diverse what people call them. Okay, so here's the do while and the switch statement and brace are on the same line or same indentation, and I don't like that. So for now, I'm gonna move her in a bit. No. Now it's on the same indentation as the input if statement. Alright, we'll keep it how it is. Okay, so if nested screen if and action menu switch, and then right here end of for now we're only keeping the while loop targeting the action menu, go to bed, because that's all we've been able to code into the switch statement, but this while statement is a work in progress. So I'm going to add that in as a comment. Loop terminates. save it for a second. What else we got going on? So from my day notes at the beginning, I said looping logic for action menu, create a class, write a few dreams and text files. So by creating a class, I'll be able to take the player data, such as their name and inventory and whatnot, put it in a separate component so it's not part of this tutorial. And then when I'm writing in the main method, I can just do set garden with user input, set energy to this amount, and it'll definitely declutter the main method a lot. So I'm thinking I'll start that because this going to bed case that we're starting with, is going to want to it's going to want to increment the day. It's going to want to set the energy, pull a dream. It does a lot. So under the hood, we'll need to start manipulating the data that we have, even if it's still the tutorial. So I'm going to review a little bit my getters and setters in like my class files that I took, where we just did this with like a cube, but I'm basically going to copy that to create objects for the player file. If I remember correctly, the double star comments are single star means it's just private within the code. Double star is a Java doc. remember how he went about it in class, but he would write the variables first, ignore the error code messages, and then he could generate constructors and whatnot out of it. Yeah, generate getters and setters, generate toString, and generate the constructor. So really, I can just start right off the bat, referencing my tutorial and what variables I've got, and then creating getters and setters for them. One moment, brief intermission while I answer the text from the boy this is all for, and probably smoke a cigarette, get some water. So brief intermission, be right back. If you're watching this on YouTube, just skip ahead like 15 minutes. boys back. I'll be drifting in and out though, since I just put a pot of coffee on. Okay. So, let's walk through a program from the very beginning and see what stuff can be relegated to the player1.java file. The introduction. Hello world, I'm the Sunflower Simulator, but we'll be planting lots of things together. That's gonna stay here. But string player name, I can tell will immediately go into the player file as well as into day. And just while things are running and compilable, because that's how I like to keep them, I'm just going to run through and test this action menu again. We'll say my name's Pat, and we'll expand the terminal. Hey there, Pat. It's a pleasure to meet you. Let's get you started with some of the basics. Each day you will start with a certain amount of energy. Energy is another variable that's going to go in this player1.java file. Spend your energy wisely. When you run out, you'll need to go to bed, and that means no more gardening for the day. Enter the number from the menu for which action you'd like to take. And then that's the action menu. Okay, so the action menu may end up going in a separate class as well. Right now it's just branching logic, so I'm going to keep it where it is in the main method, but it seems like it would be easier to put it in its own method at least, and then call that method from main. But I think I could do that in the Sunflower Simulator class, do separate methods outside of main, not the player1 class. Anyway, we will start with, here actually let's try what happens if we weed the garden. It repeats the action menu because at the moment nothing is happening. At the moment we don't have functions programmed into the switch statement for anything except going to bed. So I can do 1, 2, but it doesn't reprint the, you don't have to redo the whole game over and over again, like enter a name and whatnot. So that at least makes testing quicker. Just infinite reuses of the action menu. If I type hello instead of a number, it'll also just repeat the action menu. Okay, that's not a good option. So let's see what happens if we hit 0. Going to bed will restore energy and prepare you for the next day. Are you ready? If I type no, the program ends. Okay, I guess I need to move that choice somehow. I thought it would repeat the action menu again. What's your name? Pat. Go to bed. Yes, it is now day 1. You wake up feeling refreshed and rested. It's a new day. should not be printing a visible new line character. That's because I have a forward slash instead of a backslash. Silly Pat, tricks are for kids. The viewer we had, but that's okay. If anyone else wants to join in, you absolutely can. I apologize, but texting the boy is going to come first every time. This is to keep me occupied so I don't bother him in this game. And, you know, my future or whatever. Anyway, okay, so right now this while loop is terminating even if the choice is no. I don't like that. Or sorry, the break ends the program. No, that's not happening either. What is happening? Okay, I think we're wanting to turn this into or because it can't be both. Maybe that'll solve our problem. Let's run it, boys. Okay, what's your name? Player 1. Hey there, Player 1. It's a pleasure to meet you. Go to bed. Going to bed will prepare you for the next day. Are you ready? No. It's still ending the program whenever I type no. Oh, well, action menu choice is not equal to 0, so it's 0, and so it's not going to loop. But it is equal to 0, so why is it not looping? And okay, it's not looping because the choice was yes. if the choice is yes, then it'll give the day thing. If the choice is... Okay, so if I type no, it's not yes. But it is equal to 0. So it's not going to loop. So I need to change this to an OR. Let's try that. What's your name? Noah. Hey there, baby doll. It's a pleasure to meet you. Let's get started with some of the basics. Each day you will start with a certain amount of energy. Spend your energy wisely. When you run out, you'll need to go to bed, and that means no more gardening for the day. Let's... Number 4. None of these. Okay, I typed in none of these, and it printed 3 times. So that's a new separate little bug. Oh, you know what I think it's doing? I think it's taking each of these as separate tokens and saying, since they typed none, space, of, space, the, space, it's looping for each time. So I will need to have it only loop once, in case they, for some reason, put a bunch of choices at once. But for now, going to bed will restore energy and prepare you for the next day. No. There we go. Now it'll go back to the menu if you decide you're not ready for bed. Hell yeah. And that's loops. That's the little intro and loops for you, everybody. This has been Sunflower Simulator. Okay, so what else? Let's go ahead and test going to bed. And yes. It is now day 1. Dream. Repeated the menu anyway. Yes. It is now day 2, dream. Alright, so for right now, if there is a dream, we'll also do a new line, because that looks ugly. These look like forwards. I keep confusing forward and backward slashes because this seems forward to me, going from left to right down, until I see that and I'm like, wait, that's a forward, that's the more common slash. So yeah. Dream. Okay, so for right now it's incrementing the day every time you go to bed, and it's rolling whether or not you have a dream. And the looping logic works. Let's go ahead and start with some of these variables, making them into a class. I'm going to switch over to the other tab, so 1 second while I this way you guys can see what I'm looking at on GitHub. If you want to follow me on GitHub or add me, I don't know how it works, Patch Bandana without the one, and you can take a look at what I'll be uploading these sunflower files to make them open source in a little bit. But these are some of my objects from class. I'm going to go top off my coffee, and we're going to start kind of copying this cube class so I can, Java doc what's happening and set these these parameters on the player file, starting with energy, name, and then we'll introduce the concept of credits. I want it to kind of not sound like modern day capitalism currency, but we still need that earning points and spending them for different choices the player can make in game. So I'm gonna try and keep it as economically neutral sounding and call them credits. It also can kind of makes it sound a little sci-fi sounding as well, like Star Trek. But it functions the same way as a market kind of shop in a normal video game, where you earn credits by doing the thing and you can spend credits. Basically you for our tutorial example, it'll be a fully grown sunflower you sell for 20 credits, and whether it's just proof of work or selling, since you don't need to find a buyer, is more of a philosophical question anyway, since it's limited to what we're programming into it. But here's the class, and here's some of these functions that I have for cube. I don't think things like get surface area or volume are going to matter for a player, but when I get back we're going to see what is applicable and kind of copy paste a little bit to speed things up for these. we're stuck in an infinite loop. That's not good either. Now the gameplay loop can be closed, but and so far it looks like we've got a dream every time. The gameplay, there's a close and program terminate terminate button, so it's not a big deal right now, but eventually I'll have it terminate the program when, they say they'd like to quit playing. They'd like to save their game and quit playing. That'll be the journal option. So let's run it one more time. Patch. Going to bed. Yes. Dream. Okay, so what I like for it to happen is pull from the text file whenever a dream happens. So instead of dream, it'll randomly pull from one of like my 100 dream text files and print that instead of dream, and then whatever circumstances may have happened. Either because of the dream or because of anything else going on. This would be a good time after the dream to insert, weeds choked out your sunflower, you didn't water so your sunflower died, someone finished construction on something that takes a few days to build, that sort of thing. But we'll go ahead and terminate the program, and now we have to manually terminate every time until we create a way of closing that loop. And we may figure out a way of closing that loop pretty soon, considering the day incrementer is probably going to go in player info for right now. So what I'm seeing here is private integer length of side. It looks like we constructed the entire cube class from a single field, which was just the length of each side. So I'm going to give that a shot. And see what happens. And let's not forget energy either. So in player 1, some fields. don't want them in, I don't want them initialized yet, so I'm going to move them over here, and you know what, we're going to do energy max as an integer for now. So what else are we looking at? I want cube. Okay, so last semester, okay, private. We make the constructors public and we make the fields private. So let's do that. Source, we can generate some getters and setters. Day, energy max. Yeah. We'll do one for all of them. Oh, and what I was talking about earlier, cancel, earlier, private double credits. So now we go to source and we generate getters and setters. This is an Eclipse feature for that IDE. If you're coding in somewhere else, I do not know if they have it. And access modifier public for the getters and setters? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's why the fields are private. And look at all that code just auto-created. Magnifique. Definitely looks like I did more. Even though this stream is technically longer and almost how long was yesterday's stream? I don't fucking know. I can verify later. I still got more energy though, so I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. One thing that's a little tedious but probably necessary is to make these Java doc comments for it. So double star forward slash asterisk slash is how you do a Java doc comment. That way, you know, the IDE will pick up on what these things do. And I'll remember, you know, if we or other people can look at the code and figure it out. So what we do is we set two different values for energy. We set the current energy and the energy max. That way, doing something like resting or eating a meal made out of your flowers per se, like some sunflower seeds, can oh, that'd be cute. You can buy as credits sunflower seeds edible. Yeah. I just keep getting ideas as I go along, so this is kind of fun. But yeah, so the maximum energy affected by gardening level or equipment, whereas the current amount of energy, which will be set to its max every time you sleep or fill up all your energy in some way, and then decrease again from there. So we'll have like a decrement operator for every action that you do that's not like going to bed. And one moment while I respond to some texts. Save all files. Alright, I'm gonna go fill up my coffee and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so in the Sunflower Simulator package, but in the Player 1 class, we have these fields. I did not generate comments for these, so let's look back at our edge. Microsoft Edge. Okay, so they've got two constructors. We'll skip those for now. The getters and setters, they just put a parameter tag and a return tag, as well as a description for the class. I say they. I wrote these, but you know, with instructions. So let's. I'm gonna just go ahead and by convention Java doc these, like I keep knowing what's happening. So public stream get player name. That's gonna be. It's the player's name and displays it. Well, we won't say and displays it. That's up to how we use it in the program. We'll say it gets it. I can't think of a reason why we'd be getting it, if not to display it, but for now, that's what it'll return player name. Not the lengths. Return the length of side of the cube. Public void set player name because you aren't returning anything. You want a param tag instead. Yeah, we'll keep these simple. Gets the player's name, sets the player's name. But, you know, while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and put my cute little sneaky name manipulator in there. So, this dot player name gets player name. So up here I have if player name dot equals ignore case is Noah, player name gets baby doll. I'm gonna go ahead and snip that out of the file now. And put it in the setter. So, you know, and maybe also you could also use this to like do a list of curse words, like don't let make them set their name as cunt, you know, cunt faggot. For now, I'm taking a hands-off approach to parental controls and allowing sunflowerSimulator players to name themselves cunt, bitch, you know, disease-ridden prostitute. Hey, I won't say it on stream, but you want to name yourself the N-word? Knock yourself out. So this dot player name, if player name dot equals ignore this case, Noah player name gets baby doll. And I think if this dot player name there we go. So now we can go into the sunflower class itself, and I think we can delete player name and go through here and make it set player name. Whoop. Phone starts vibrating and it wants to jump off the whole fucking desk. So set player name to scanner.nextLine. Is that how that works? Is that what I have in here? Set player name. Set player name. Get player name. See, this is just where we're displaying it. I think that's all instances of player name at the moment. Let's figure out why these aren't accessible at the moment. The method get player names undefined for type. Player name cannot resolve to variable. Give me a moment while I think. Unless we have any bright ideas from the audience. No, no one's viewing at the moment. Did I set it as private? I might have set it as private. That could be a problem. No, it's public. don't need to import it. Oh, do I just need to create the object first? Yeah, I need to create it as an object first. Okay. So it just is, it's not going to compile for a minute. Sorry, responding to text from the boy. I'm not actually, still thinking. Being in a relationship does sap from your productivity a little bit. But it also makes that productivity worth it. So I'm gonna need those, sorry about my iPhone popping up on stream. I'm gonna need those constructors made before this sunflower simulator will compile, but for right now, let's just go ahead and continue Java docking this class. Getters into getters, setters into setters, so this isn't too time consuming and tedious. of the save file. I think we can still use the increment operator with method calls. I'm unsure. No, but let's go ahead and just continue doing this. Most of this isn't actual code, it is just good programming practices, so as I add to the code, I don't forget what things do, and other people don't misunderstand, and I don't fuck with variables that shouldn't be fucked with. That did it differently just because I had that capitalized. Put apostrophes here either. Sets is not an accurate. Doesn't have possession. Okay. Gets the current energy amount. Sets the current energy amount. Why do I also have them backwards? Get day, set day, get energy, set energy. Oh, okay, I don't have them backwards. I'll just copy that. this is like kind of dry and droll right now, but that's why we're ending with dream writings. Sets the maximum energy for player 1. Finish up these getters and setters and maybe add the constructor so it will compile. We'll see. Before we end up switching to the dreams. I'll write like say 5 dreams. That sounds fun. It's the credits the player currently possesses. So another good reason, I might have already said this, so this might not be another. Why did I copy both of those? Oops. Need a way of subtracting from the credits, so I'm not sure if just set credits is a good way of doing it. We'll see which stuff goes in main and which stuff goes in the classes and getters and setters. Not much should be going in the setters, maybe some input validation in the setters, so like I don't think we'll have negative credits. I don't want a sunflowerSimulator game to put them into debt. Yeah, so like if they try to buy something, if for any reason it wants to take more credits than they have, I either need to like display you're out of money, you can't do that message, or just set it to 0 instead of into the negatives. I'll worry about that later though, because I don't know how that's going to work mechanically just yet. But that's a good example for energy as well. I don't want that in the negatives. Y'all like the Sonic the Hedgehog music in the background? If you can hear it, This could be a copyright violation. Let's hope not. Got work in 4 hours. Viewer, and whoever it is, hey, thanks. Okay, sets the amount of the of credits the player has. I'm gonna mimic the verbiage before. The character currently possesses, and then parameter credits for player 1. This is also just, I think, a little bit neater than having all the variable manipulation being in main. I'm gonna take a little picture. Too much more to get done in this sesh. I think that was the last of this coffee pot. The rest of it worked out, so it does this dot credits equals credits, this dot energy max equals max. It only had an issue with energy, and I think that's only because I all capsed it, which is against convention, and I may change if we have to. Okay, let me see about creating a constructor now that we've got some getters and setters and fields in there here. So we've created a constructor. I don't think we need this super. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. I don't think that fucks anything up. But for some reason it's still doing this, so I'm confirming that that's the issue, is it doesn't like my variable name to be all caps, but for now, I'm just going to stubbornly insist, hey, you'll compile anyway. But now we have a constructor that takes every argument, so we can create a player file and eventually write it to an actual file, but not today. At least within sunflowerSimulator, while the program's running, it'll create the player. We're also going to create another constructor using only a player name, because that's kind of the way the tutorial works. We might make one for every single variable. So we can do this again, but this time unclick every single constructor except player variable name, and we're going to click generate omit call to default constructor super. Is that the default constructor? I think we'll keep this. Let me see what I did real quick in the lab. Okay, neither one in this case is constructed. It is calling to super, so I'm just going to omit that in both. I'm not sure if I remember correctly what super does. Other constructor we want is going to go down here, but we're going to need a parameter tag for every single parameter, and that's why I'm only making 2 for today, because I just got done making tedious Java.comments. I don't want to do a whole lot more. So where was I? Go ahead and erase all these extra blocks. Okay. Constructor of player 1 with only player name. Player name passes an argument from the user. Constructor of player 1 with not only player name. With all, and I'll put all in asterisks because that might change. With all modifiers. So instead of these thises, I'm thinking you're supposed to supposed to do them as setters. That's what I've got for the cube. Set length side 1. And then set length side with the integer being length of side. Okay, so let's fix this to be set player name player set player name set day set energy. I know, riveting, right? Let's erase this for now. argument constructor, so it needs something. Oh, I think I need player dot get player name. Oh, hold on one moment, baby's calling. Hey, gorgeous. Hello. Alright, the boy is here, so I'm gonna cut this stream short. But tune in next time for dreams.